And that kick plate is loose up underneath the
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, Chris and Don, I'm with Shane, the inspector with FBI Group, and
hey guys,
we're going to go over the inspection report on his iPad to show you some photos of what's going on.
Yep. Okay. So, Chris and Don, just keep in mind all this information will be on the report. I apologize if you can't see some of the pictures very well. You know, we're kind of trying to do this, you know, over the phone, but don't worry about it. If you miss something, everything that's in my tablet will be on the report, and then some. Actually, not only these pictures, but you'll have locations, descriptions, illustrations, even showing you why something's wrong if it is. You'll have model number, serial number, size, age, typical life expectancy, failure probability. So a lot of information I probably won't even go over right now. So also the pictures that I show you or that are on my tablet are out of order. As I go around, I find an item, I take a picture. So there might be like an interior picture, and then an electrical picture, and then a plumbing picture, and then a cooling picture. In the report, it'll be much more organized. You'll have a summary section at the beginning, which will list anything that needs attention in categories like roofing, plumbing, electrical, heating, air conditioning, interior, exterior, etc. Then you'll have a general description section with those same categories. So the pictures will go where they're supposed to go to make a lot more sense. And a lot of the pictures will have circles and arrows and notes on the picture highlighting what I'm showing. Those don't show up on my tablet, but they'll be in the report. So, all right, let's go through these real quick. This is just the kick plate up underneath the dishwasher. It is loose, which is not a big deal. It just needs a couple screws to, tighten it back up underneath there. It's just decorative, really. There's no, functionality of it. I mean, I guess it keeps stuff from getting up underneath there, but very easy, just a small minor repair with a couple more screws. These are just some general pictures of the wiring inside your electrical panel. That all looks good. It's all done properly. There's no violations inside there, and it actually looks like a little bit newer panel. It's probably replaced in, I'd say, maybe the last 5 years. So that's good. It's Square D panel, which is a very good brand, and that's actually located in the back kind of closet / laundry area where the water heater and the washer and dryer are. The front windows, if you're inside the house, to the left of the front door, I guess that'd be the dining room. All three of these windows, the frames and the sashes are very loose, and like you try to lift one up and they just fall back down. This middle one actually was about to fall out of the frame, and none of them will lock. So those windows need some attention. Just, pretty minor repair, actually. This is an outlet in the bathroom up closer to the front of the house, kind of between that bedroom and office area. It is a Gfci outlet, which you can see the little reset buttons on there, but it's not functioning properly. It's not tripping when I test it. So they just go bad after a while. It just needs to be replaced. Not a big deal. Up underneath most of the bathroom sinks, I think if not all of the bathroom sinks, they've got this just kind of funky foldable corrugated piping. It's not leaking, but it just causes a lot of problems because of all those folds, especially in a bathroom. If you have a lady with long hair goes down the drain. I have 2 daughters and a wife with long hair, and I'm cleaning out the sinks, once a week. But it's just going to cause a lot of clogging, and then that could cause pressure on the the junctions, and that could make it leak. So again, it's not leaking now. It's just going to cause a lot of problems in the future. This is the window, and I apologize because the sun was coming in, but in that bedroom where that bathroom is connected to it, the left window would not open. It's got those old crank style windows, and the crank just kind of spun and spun. So the right window opened, but the left side did not. It's kind of hard to see, but this is your cooling temperature. I believe it was 48 degrees. And then your return temperature was 64, so that's a 16-degree difference. We look for anywhere between 14 and 22 degrees. So 16 is kind of right there in the middle. 14 to 22 is acceptable. 15 to 20 is optimal. So that's in that range. So it's cooling fine. That big freestanding bathtub was just draining kind of slowly. Might just need a little minor snake or some liquid plumber or something, but you know, with plumbing, you can't be too careful, so you want to get that checked out. Here's some more of that corrugated foldable piping. Here's another one. It's just, again, it's just not, you know, what a licensed plumber would put in. That's a homeowner fix. Your water temperature is good. You have 115 degrees. Anything between 100 and 120 is what we look for, so that's good. In the kitchen, the cabinet above the refrigerator, it hits the air vent when you open it. So it needs a, they even tried to fold those down and it's still hitting it. So if you're going to use that cabinet, just needs an adjustment on the door. One of the window cranks is missing. That's in the laundry area. This is the gas shutoff for your water heater. And it's actually located down here just to the right of it. This is the tank. It's located back in the laundry area as well. This is the label. It's 40 gallon. I believe it's 2021, so it's only a year old, so that's great. It's working great. No issues there. This is your heating temperature, which is 75, and that's a little bit low. I had it running for actually quite a while, and it should be heating a lot more than that. I mean, this morning I turned one on for about 2 minutes and it was blowing 95. So you might want to get somebody to look at the air conditioning system. When they replaced it, this system is what you call a straight cool and an electric heater. So if they had a heat pump previously or a gas furnace, then it has to be wired differently. So it's possible it wasn't hooked up correct. So I would recommend somebody to look at it just to be safe. This is the coil up underneath the air unit. It's pretty dirty as well. So, you know, maybe get somebody out to clean it and look at that heat just to be safe. Like I said, the unit itself is only 2020, so it's only 2 years old. So that's great. 12 to 15 years is about the average lifespan. So once you get it running good, should be fine for another 10, 15 years. This is actually the vent for your water heater. It's a gas water heater, and this is where the fumes go up, and it's supposed to go out this pipe out of a vent in the attic, or excuse me, on the roof, but it's been disconnected. So all your fumes are going up in the attic. So that just needs to be reattached. So everything goes up out to the outside. A couple pictures of the insulation. They blew in some fiberglass, so that looks good. You have plywood sheathing. It all looks in really good shape. Rafters and ceiling joists. It's is, you know, good a shape as you would expect for a house this age. The doorbell doesn't work, but you know, that's pretty minor. This is a picture of the vent stack on the roof for your plumbing. It's cast iron, and cast iron only lasts about 50 to 75 years. And how old is this house again, Chris?
Yeah, to double check.
Yeah, I think it's in that range. If not, maybe past it. The problem with cast iron is it rusts from the inside out, and it could possibly collapse at some point. So we can't see the condition of the pipes, so we recommend you get what's called a sewer scope. That's a licensed plumbing contractor or a leak detection company can go down through the system with a camera and check the condition of the pipes. Again, that bathtub wasn't draining real well, so you know, you just never know. It'd be worth you know, another look. These are pictures of your roof. The roof looks great. It's only 2 years old, but I was discussing with Chris. The slope is pretty low for this type of shingle. Now, I did get a roofing permit online, so that means it was installed by a licensed roofing contractor. So I kind of hate to question them, but I'm questioning them. It's a pretty low slope. Plus, they covered up. It's kind of hard to see, but right here on the side here, that's what we call a ridge vent. You can kind of see it right there. In the attic, they covered it up, so there's no ventilation for the attic either. So those two things need to be looked. So I would recommend that you get a licensed roofing contractor out to just give you his opinion, or her, just to double check. Because if that's not done right, it's going to make your inside of your attic much, much hotter, and it could possibly leak with that wrong type of shingle. So better to just get it checked out. This is an outlet right by the front door. It needs a cover. If anything outside like that needs weather protection. So that's easy. Just need to put a weather cover over it. Most of the windows are missing screens. That's one of the windows there. And you've got several places on the outside where you've got some plumbing that's exposed to the sun, and it needs to be painted because PVC is not UV protected, so the sun will dry that out and it'll crack. The shed looked to be in fine shape, no issues there. We do not check above ground saunas. I did check the rest of the pool, but we don't inspect the above ground hot tub, so just put that in there. One of the screen doors is missing a closer. The pool light did not work. The pool itself actually looks to be in really good condition. I was telling Chris, it's got a surface called Pebble Tech, which is a very good surface, very durable. It'll last a long time. The surrounding deck looked in very good shape. I know Chris said you had some questions about that. It's pavers, so they're not perfect. You know, some of the gaps are a little bit wider than others. Some of them, you know, maybe a little unlevel, but as far as, you know, paver decking goes, that's about as good as I've seen. All the coping and the tiling around the pool look really good. The pool cage looked to be in really good shape. All the structure and screens were good. No problems there. This is your, let me come back to that. This is your pump and motor for your pool. Back here on the back is where that picture is right there. It's supposed to have what's called a body bond. That's a copper wire that grounds the motor to like the pool cage, you know, the rest of the equipment. So it grounds it. So if you touch it with your hands are wet, it won't shock you. So that needs to be added. The heater has been disconnected and it's really old, so I don't think it works anyway. So if you wanted to, you know, use a heater on the pool, you'd have to replace that. Pump and motor were running fine, no issues besides the missing body bond. This is your cartridge filter. It looks to be in good shape. This is where your breaker and your timer for your pump and motor are located. It's inside this box on the back wall. That looks to be in good shape as well. This is called a bleeder valve that would let the pressure off your filter if you wanted to change the filter or clean it. Your pressure gauge is working fine. Just a couple more pictures of the pool cage from the outside. Again, it looks in great shape. This is your air conditioning unit, and behind it where the refrigeration lines go up into that box, it's not sealed at the bottom. So rodents can crawl up in there and get inside your attic. So that just needs to be sealed down there at that area. And also your dryer vent is damaged. So you want to get that replaced so, again, rodents can't crawl up in there and get inside. This is your main electrical feed coming from the street. Goes into your main disconnect panel there. This is the box where it's located. You have 200 amps of service coming in. And then you have a couple more breaker here for the spa, AC, air handler unit, and these go that goes to the inside panel. And that's located in that box there, right next to your meter. And it's back here on the back wall just behind your air conditioner, right there. This is the label for your outside AC unit, 2020. Again, cooling great, no issues there. It's just a heater that's a little bit suspect. This is where your gas meter is located, just to the left of your air conditioning unit there. And this would be your main gas shutoff valve there. So that's good shape. Over here on this corner is another plumbing pipe that needs to be painted. Out here by your electrical pole in the front yard is where your water meter is located. And over here on the left side, just inside the fence behind that door, sorry about the shadow, but I just, couldn't help it. That's where your water shutoff is located at the house. So that'd be a much easier place to shut your water off if you needed to. Water pressure is good. About 65 pounds is what I'm reading. Anything between 40 and 80 is acceptable. Behind the gate there is also another pipe that needs to be painted. And missing screens again. It's pretty much all around. If you want to open your windows on a nice cool day, you get stuff come flying in. And that's it. That's all I got.
The one other thing, Shane, was the gap in the kitchen, the floorboard, I believe, or the baseboard.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice that as well? Is that just they need to add some additional baseboard to that?
Yeah. What people have started doing is typically when you have a tile floor or a wooden floor, at the bottom of your baseboard, you put a piece of molding called a shoe molding or a quarter round. And that covers the gap. It's very small. It's about that big around. and it's very flexible, so it'll follow the contours of the floor, and that'll cover that gap up. Well, people are kind of going to that farmhouse maybe look where you got the big wide baseboards, and they don't like that shoe molding at the bottom. Well, that's a much bigger piece of wood that doesn't move as much. No floor is exactly perfectly level, so that's why you get those gaps in between your baseboard and the floor, because it's just the floor's not level and that board is rigid and straight, so you don't have that other molding to cover it up. So that's purely cosmetic, but
pretty easy fix.
Absolutely. All you do is add the shoe molding, or if you don't mind the gap and you like that look better, you just
leave it as
you leave it. Yeah.
Okay. But no issues with the dishwasher leaking, or where they try to modify anything?
No.
Okay.
That piece is just loose. Needs a couple.
Just
a couple screws.
Easy. Okay.
Oh yeah.
The little kick plate.
30 seconds.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Shane. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And you guys will get that report later today. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. And good luck.